Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am really glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, February 15th, 2024. Recently, when the Super Bowl concluded, our resident-in-chief, 46, posted a rather cryptic tweet. I will show you the picture from it. And originally, people were thinking that this was a kind of a thumbing their nose at people saying, see, we can predetermine the outcomes, know what's going on, and yes, the little Swifty lady is in our back pocket. But then there was another interpretation that came out the next day that I've just been getting nudged to do a read about and see if there's if that one is where it's at. So it's 4 days old, and in today's world, it's old news, but let's take a look at this compilation, and I'll explain what I'm talking about, and then we'll see what the universe wants us to know. If you like this share screen that I'm going to, you can access it by clicking on the Facebook link that will be in the video description box. So here was the picture that was included with the 46's tweet, okay? And the original one said, just like we drew it up. Okay, now, if you're not following RL on Twitter, you're missing out. Very, very awake, seems to be connected. I've mentioned this account several times, and you'd be missing out. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If it interests you, I do have a link to it in the compilation. That's here. This was what interested me most. All of the things regarding optics with Joe Biden will go down on his watch, and he will be blamed for the failing fiat system. Now, folks, we've talked about that here on my channel, that he is not going to get credit for any true recovery or big positive change in the financial system. So he is one of the dominoes we are waiting to fall to have some really good changes happening. I'm going to continue reading what was here. So when you look at this post, the military is basically telling you they are ready to press the red button on the entire plan. I told you all you are getting ready to cross the bridge into the new republic, but it will come with some turbulence. End of quote. Again, that is something I have mentioned. That's why I suggest that we have situational awareness when we're out and about, that we understand that even though nothing can stop what is coming, it doesn't mean that the evildoers aren't going to create chaos, mayhem, and reap some loosh on the way out the door. They are. They're going to. That's why there's lots of false flappy things going on. So I just want to ask the universe if that's true. If the alt media speculation that really that tweet after the Super Bowl by 46 was actually a signal by the White Hats that they're just about ready to push the go button. Now, we've gotten with some other comparisons with 17 posts and gematria that we're getting really close to go time. We've gotten some hints with the tarot cards where the tower card is showing up more and more often, that we're getting close to a tower event, a tower moment, the big change. Okay, that doesn't mean start popping your popcorn. It doesn't mean be on the edge of your seat, because remember, we want resilience, because our idea of soon and the universe's may not be the same. So we want to be expecting and knowing the good change is coming, but we don't want to have our hopes so pinned to a certain day or event or what have you that we end up disappointed and frustrated and becoming black-pilled. That's not the case. Neither do we want to have what's called hopium, where we just give false hope to people. Do I believe change is coming? Absolutely. And my question again for the universe today is that alt media perspective by Ariel, is that that was really a white hat signal? Is that true? And are there other insights and information the universe wants us to know? I'll switch the camera. You can watch me work with the cards, and we'll find out together. Interesting to see what the universe wants us to know. An answer to the basic question, is there validity to that assertion that those red eyes were actually a calm by the white hats, communication by the white hats, that we are ready to kick it into high gear, basically, plus other sets and information. Okay, our first card is the King of Pentacles, the Moon, Eight of Cups, the Star, Wheel of Fortune. We have 3 major arcanas out of 5 cards so far. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles, another major arcana with the Empress. So it's looking like, yeah, we're definitely getting close to some big events that cannot be altered. Nothing can stop what is coming. Remember, that's the function sometimes of major arcana cards in a read. They're telling you that what you're asking about and what I am informing you about cannot be changed in any meaningful big way. So let's look at what's happening. First of all, our question was, Ariel, if you just happen to watch my little channel or ever notice this, with my shout out and what have you, you're indicated by the King of Pentacles, which is really cool. Now, King of Pentacles indicates high ambition, being a faithful provider, successful and generous, and having an idea and capacity for not only their own sovereignty, but generating it in others. So a beautiful card to indicate you. Now, the Moon card shows up, okay? And that tells me that there's times when you don't share all that you can share, okay? It also tells me that you may have some personal danger because of what you have chosen to share. So the universe is telling us a little bit about you, Ariel. And so, eyes on, situational awareness, but you have a lot of strength and wisdom, so you can navigate through this. Okay, so now back to our question. We were saying, is there truth to what Ariel said? Okay, the Eight of Cups shows up here for the recent past. One of the meanings of the Eight of Cups is a turning point. So yeah, we've reached a turning point. So that does give us kind of a nod to the fact that, yes, the tweet by Ariel saying that it's actually a white hat communication is absolutely true. Look here, in the present, we've got the 17th major arcana, which is the biggest universal nod to the white hats that we could have in the 17 club. And again, in my belief system, those involved with 17 also have some benevolent, even divine protection and energy, helping make these changes to our world and our plane of existence possible. So yeah, it's definitely a white hat thing. Wheel of Fortune shows up. If you've been watching me anytime at all, you know that I tell you always, when it's a political read, Wheel of Fortune is good because our world has to finish going from dark to light. The Wheel of Fortune always turns. We have come out of darkness and lack of sovereignty and slavery and lies and what have you, and we're only starting to, just that's why so the percentage of those who are truly awake is so small, but growing every day because we're going from dark to light. Now, lots of hard work is involved with these changes. So yeah, that was a calm. You can feel yourself heartened by that tweet and not discouraged by 46's tweet. He had no control over it coming out. It was all from the Alliance, all letting us know that we passed a turning point. A lot of hard work's going on. Some of it's ready to be made evident. A lot of it is just still in the lineup, still to find out. The Empress is showing up then for further insights and information, maternal energy, loving energy, Mother Earth. Sometimes the Empress card involves Russia for me. So I'm not going to rule out the possibility that Russia is going to play an ever larger role in the changes that are coming about that are positive for our world. And in fact, that's exactly what I'm hoping this is. Let's get a couple more cards because this is telling me, with all of these major arcanas, it's telling me it's an important question. Okay, are you ready? Change is coming. We know that, but it's going to come sooner than we maybe thought. Page of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, the Page of Pentacles is a card that talks about financial opportunity, again, because it's real tangible things, so real change coming out that's getting ready to happen for our world. Again, Pentacles again for this. Pentacles, tangible things, change is ready to come. We've reached a turning point, so it looks like the big change is coming once we get 46 retired or 25th Amendment done with or whatever. There's a firm foundation for some really good changes that won't be rolled out all at once, and that's good because we being we humans have not had a lot of experience with having plenty. So it needs to be, I think, a slow rollout, giving people time to make mistakes, but that aren't permanent and devastating. We don't want to be like those lottery winners that are broke in a year. Okay. We want to get accustomed to having enough and handling it responsibly and wisely. When it's situational, the situation is financial in nature. And with all of these cards coming up that are Pentacles, I'm thinking that might be it. King of Swords, Justice. So there's contracts coming out here, Justice. The sword suit is about words and action, often about your matters involving contractual legal matters. So there's going to be some big legal changes coming up. There's going to be, though, an element of disinformation to it. Be ready for that. Again, folks, if you've been learning as you wake up that it's your responsibility to use your discernment with anything you choose to listen to and what you decide to give credence to, don't let that, even if it's a trusted voice, always listen with your discernment on, because people can make honest mistakes, which is misinformation. They can mislead you because they have to be loyal to another agenda or they've been compromised, and that's disinformation. And so whichever it is, use your discernment to see, because some of what's going to come out there, and we've seen that now with people offering to give you X, Y, and Z in the way of early redemptions or what have you. Don't fall for it. Just use your discernment and your wisdom always. But again, out of this read with 4 major arcana showing up, and it's looking really good. And Ariel, once again, you were correct. That was a signal by the white hats to those of us that are awake and aware that they're ready to push the button. It is time for things to publicly and officially start moving and shaking. First among those, though, is going to be removing the person that should not get credit for any financial change that's beneficial for our world. So I'm not seeing it happen today, but we're hoping sooner, sooner, sooner. So let's recap. 46 did a tweet showing laser eyes after the Super Bowl ended. And at first I didn't want to pay it any mind because I thought it was just simply a post that was meant to discourage, that talked about, oh, I can fix things. I knew this was going to happen. I have big names in my back pocket supporting me, what have you, so I didn't want to give it any credence or airtime, and I didn't want to give it any energy. And then I read the post on Twitter by Ariel, and I have that linked in my compilation for you. And his contention was that that's actually a white hat signal. And so we asked, is that true? And are there other insights and information going on? Well, here's what we got. First of all, definitely a white hat operation. Front and center in the current card is our top white hat alliance card, the Star. Okay, absolutely. In the recent past, a turning point card came up showing us that they have reached a turning point and they are ready to start moving and shaking in a positive and public way. Okay. Ariel, who I keep recommending, is showing up indicated by the King of Pentacles, a card of a lot of wisdom and mastering and sovereignty. The cards have a little bit of a caution for him, though, okay, that there is some personal danger because he is speaking so much truth. And I know that he talks about truly having one of the few NDAs that are, out there. And so be careful, watch your 6, be careful. I'm not saying anything other than that, saying that it would go badly for you, but you do need to be cautious and careful. Back to our question, because we were asking for insights and information, and the universe chose to not only talk about who presented that information, but a little about the information. The Wheel of Fortune showed up. So again, our world is making change for the better. because in political reads, this means, again, it's a spotlighting that we are going from dark to light. It's a long, slow process. We've been thousands of years of lack of sovereignty and debt slavery and misinformation and compromised health systems and what have you. It's going to take a lot to get that reversed, but the reversals are in process. And the top insight card, Pentacles, over and over again, Pentacles were showing up, tells me that maybe some of the change that's going to come up is going to be dealing with the fiat money system failing and the new one rolling out. Again, for that to happen, 46 needs to retire, go away, whatever. So, but they're not going to roll it out all at once. And that's good. Like I said, we're not used to having an abundance of material possessions at our fingertips, and it's going to take a while for people to get used to handling that kind of personal wealth responsibly. So, yeah, I could tell stories. I just tell people, if you always wanted that designer purse, get a designer purse, but don't necessarily try to buy every one on the market and follow all the trends for the rest of eternity. So again, learning to, okay, a small indulgence in something I've always had a dream of is fine, but then I need to be practical and be loving and smart with what is made available to me. And the white hats are aware of that. And so there are some rollout plans in place that we're going to have us get past that learning curve without disaster in most cases. The Empress showed up. Love when she shows up. Empress often talks for me also about Mother Russia. So Russia may have something to play with some of the financial changes. And again, Russia's part of BRICS that are doing an excellent job at having their currencies that they use asset-backed and firm economic and good changes and support for one another in the BRICS alliance. So that's kind of cool to see. Then we had a few other cards getting a little farther along just for more information. Pentacles showing up again, which made me think that the main thing that this was signaling, that the first obvious change in our world is going to be more financial, and that was with the Pentacles. And just this is always a firm foundation card, so that's really good. Again, that and kind of a nod to that we're going to asset-backed type of currencies. As Ariel said, and I've always said too, there will be some turbulence, okay? Those that had their power associated with fiat dollars have done everything they can to resist it, to steer towards a change that actually reincorporates the fiat system. So, just kind of be aware of that, but it's not going to work out. It's not. Now, here was interesting, my final two cards. Again, one of our top white hat cards here with the King of Swords. And love that he showed up. He talks about high ambition and being a faithful provider. Don't you love that? Because we've been talking about generosity and the tangible assets that are indicated by the Pentacles. So nice card to have show up. And then the caution with that. There's going to be disinformation out there. Some of it will be accidental. More of it will be deliberate. Use your discernment, okay? Just like we all know not to give our bank account numbers to those Nigerian princes, right? And if it seems to be too good to be true, it probably is. Or again, give it the 48 hours to see if more comes out about a situation or an offer. Anytime somebody tries to rush you into signing on the dotted line, making a commitment or what have you, that's the time to put the brakes on. And that's what the discernment card is all about. Okay, so use your discernment so that the elements that do come out on change that aren't accurate, that aren't truthful, whether it's deliberate or unintended, that you can see through them and navigate as wisely as possible. Okay, so that's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time, for your attention, and I try not to waste it. And I really appreciate that so many of you are willing to look at a non-conventional means of getting some insights and information, and then balancing that against your own personal discernment to see if it's information you want to accept. Kudos to you, okay? I personally have a lot of faith in the tarot cards, and I believe when they're used prayerfully, you can get very positive and startlingly accurate information from them. But that's just my belief, or I wouldn't be Laura's View and Tarot too. If you're willing to receive it, until next time, I send you love and light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.